Hello, I'm Owen Hemsley and welcome to our Fire Reviews. Today I'll be reviewing the game Farcry 3. Well, first off, a bit about this game. This game is a first-person shooter set in an open-world version of a large island set between the Indian and Pacific Oceans. This game was developed by Ubisoft Montreal in conjunction with lots of other Ubisoft companies such as Ubisoft Massive, Ubisoft Red Storm, Ubisoft Shanghai, and Ubisoft Reflections. And it's been published for Xbox 360, PS3 and PC. This was released in November and December of 2012 depending on what country you lived in. There was a separate expansion game for Far Cry 3 called Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, but I will be just reviewing the main game, Far Cry 3. The main storyline is basically about a group of teenagers, the main character being called Jason Brody, who take a vacation but end up accidentally skydiving and being captivated in a horrific island. Jason must find and save all of his friends who have been kidnapped or worse, and then escape from the crazy island full of crazy people. Crazy man. So now the actual review. First off, the controls. The button assignment in this game is really good because all of the controls are where you expect them to be, especially if you're playing it on Xbox 360 or PS3. For example, all of the shooting controls are very similar to previously released first-person shooter games such as Call of Duty. Unlike Call of Duty, however, this game doesn't have screaming little 6-year-olds on it.
Damn campers! I'm gonna tell my mum!
Although the control system isn't very imaginative, it works well and it's easy to grasp. The only problem with the control system is that sometimes it isn't responsive enough. What I mean by this is that sometimes you have to press a button, for example, to reload your gun, a few times before it does anything. In most games this wouldn't really matter, but as a lot of this game is very fast paced, sometimes this can be very annoying and it can end up meaning your character dies. Next up, the challenge level. There is a choice for what difficulty you have this game at the beginning of the game, and I personally chose to have it on medium setting because I thought, it would give me a little bit of challenge, I was very wrong. It didn't give me a little bit of a challenge, it gave me loads. This game, even on medium setting, is extremely difficult, partly because of things such as not being able to hold many bullets or weapons until much later on in the game, which means the player is required to do things such, for example, takedowns, which is basically stabbing someone from behind, as well as unlockable skills, which enables the player to do a lot more different styles of combat, or give them more health, etc. Therefore, a lot of this game requires strategy rather than just going in spraying bullets everywhere, although there are still bullet spraying moments. This means the game has a good balance of difficulty, strategy, and just pure action. So it's got everything.
Wanna see some action, boy?
Most importantly, how fun is this game? There are so many things to do in this game, like so many. There's the main storyline, there are side missions, hunting missions, outposts to liberate, which basically involves strategically killing enemies. There's radio towers to activate, which unlocks more of the map, and tons more. And unlike a lot of games, every single one of these things is actually fun to do. The whole game has been developed so well, and no part of the game has been rushed. Not any part of the game that I've seen anyway. What's more, the more of the game you complete, the more weapons, items, and storage you get, which means the game actually gets more fun as you go along. The fun isn't just in the actual game world, though, or even the storyline, which by the way is very well written, or the unique detailed locations. I mean, look at this for example, it's quite amazing. It's also what can be done through the use of the menus. For example, you can craft various items such as larger rucksacks or syringe needles for healing, or breathing underwater for longer, etc. But you can also upgrade various skills, which I've already mentioned, by a level up system. I must also mention the cooperative mode in the game. First of all, it's not just one of the only big new-ish games which actually bothers to have local multiplayer, but the co-op is actually fun.
Say what?
Holy hell, I'm ugly. It has its own written storyline, which is fairly complex, and it has a mix of working together and going against each other. The action's still very good in the cooperative mode, so this is a game well worth playing with a friend as well. How do I find friends? Sorry, what was that? I have to go outside.
No, not outside.
In conclusion, apart from some control issues, there is literally nothing wrong with this game at all, in my opinion. It can get annoying when you keep constantly running out of bullets, but in a way, it adds to the survival side of the game. The storyline, the dark humour, which I hadn't mentioned, but there is a lot of dark humour in this, and even the co-op has had so much effort put into it that I literally cannot fault it. Therefore, I give this game a 9 out of 10. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to share, subscribe and like this video. If you have any ideas for games to review or have further questions about this video, please comment below, as I will happily take your views into account. I've had some suggestions for games on my previous videos, and once I've done a couple more reviews for games I've already lined up, I'll be doing reviews for games that have been suggested by people. So thank you for those suggestions. Thanks for watching, and see you later.
Gee, thanks guys.